On this Northshore news, find out more on how the Cleco buyout is affecting the Northshore, and hear the update on Helis Oil's fracking progress.
Also ahead, school policies keep an Amite High's Valedictorian from walking in his high school graduation, and find out more about the Orlando massacre that killed nearly 50 people at Pulse nightclub this past June. Northshore News starts right now.
Mayor says because developers follow.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jordan Reid.
And I'm Nancy Peck. The Public Service Commission has voted to allow 2 private investors to buy Cleco Energy. The sale brings change to the energy service company, which provided electricity to over 280,000 customers across Louisiana. I have more on the story. Summer is the season of hot weather, which leads to heavy use of air conditioning units. The use of AC units increases the cost of electric bills. However, on July 1st, Cleco customers saw record low bills, despite the extra electricity most consumed during the hottest months of the year. As of July 2nd, Cleco is officially under new ownership. Many customers have questions that the new owners of Cleco have yet to answer. But one thing remains clear. As long as this happens when it's supposed to, without raising current prices, customers will be happy with whoever owns Cleco.
I have received my $475 on a refund. It was nice. In the middle of summer, saved a few dollars. But now we are still the highest company in our subdivision. There's 474 homes here, and we're split between Cleco and Washington St. Tammany. They pay half what we do. Now, if my bill goes up, that credit is not a good thing. So, fingers crossed.
The future of the new corporation is to be determined. There are still a lot of questions that still need answers.
We don't know if our bill is going to change. We don't know the reliability of the service, what the response time will be if we call, or who we're calling.
But this is only the beginning for the new Cleco. For Northshore News, I'm Nancy Peck. For more information about the new owners and further details of the sale, visit investors.cleco.com.
The U.S. Attorney's Office requested to postpone former District Attorney Walter Reid's sentence to December instead of the original date in September. Reid was found guilty on 18 corruption-related charges back in May. The charges consist of mail-in wire fraud, conspiracy, money laundering, and making false statements on tax documents. Evidence shows that Reid has made campaign-related purchases of large group dinners and small gifts such as gift cards and flowers. He also sent checks to a church and to his son Stephen Reid's company, Globob Inc.
Port Marigny, the proposed 78-acre development for commercial and residential uses just east of the Causeway Bridge, adjacent to Lake Pontchartrain, won't be voted on just yet. After hearing the proposal, Mandeville residents and the City Council are concerned about the impact that Port Marigny will have on the community. Plans include a hotel, restaurants, marina, shopping areas, and nearly 430 residential units. A chief concern is whether the small area will be able to accommodate the increased population. Some residents feel that Port Marigny is too glamorous for Old Mandeville, while others feel that the project would be an economic boost. The council has hired 2 lawyers for legal advice while making decisions about the project. The project is on hold until an agreement between the council and the mayor can be made.
Since 2014, fracking has been a hotly debated topic in St. Tammany Parish. Reporter Amanda Kitch updates us on the Helis Oil controversy.
After a 2-year delay, Helis Oil recently completed Phase 1 of oil exploration in St. Tammany Parish. This included a 30-day drill to collect data, but no fracking.
It cost them a lot of money as far as in attorney's fees, as far as to give them that opportunity to drill. So I think they must feel like there's something down there.
Helis is drilling near Lakeshore High School on Highway 1088. The residents fear a fracking accident could pose a risk to their clean air and water.
We certainly don't want to do anything to disrupt that reputation or the wonderful water that we enjoy.
For anything to happen, there are a number of things, failures to happen independently that would not be caught either by the oil company or the regulators, and that has never happened.
But here in the town of Abita Springs, only 11 miles from the drilling site, the locals don't want to take that chance. They're concerned what could happen to their famous Abita Springs water and quality of life if more drills pop up in the future.
So it's not about the one well, even though that's what we're fighting. It's about the 2,000 plus wells that could happen and all the infrastructure problems that will come with that.
While no fracking will take place until 2017, some St. Tammany residents and officials hope the state legislature will reconsider its decision to allow the Helis oil project. Until then, parish officials are asking the people of St. Tammany to learn more about the project and its process.
I would encourage everybody to educate themselves. To not only open your ears to the bad stuff, but open your ears to the good stuff, and then make an informed decision.
For Northshore News, I'm Amanda Kitch.
Now that phase 1 of the drilling process is completed, Helis must obtain several more permits before it begins hydraulic fracturing next year.
A local high school valedictorian banned from his high school graduation walks at his own ceremony a month later. Andrew Jones, a 4.0 student at Amite High, couldn't walk at his school's commencement after he refused to shave his face. Family, friends, and people Jones did not know gathered in Hammond to support him. Tyler Wagensback attended the ceremony and has more on the story.
As the trombone sounds the ceremony's beginning, Andrew Jones stood with local leaders who organized this event to honor his accomplishments.
We didn't gather tonight for someone that broke a rule. Amen. We gathered so that the rule doesn't break him.
And so that's why this occasion is so important. Number one, it tells Andrew that we appreciate his hard work.
School officials told Jones he couldn't walk unless he shaved. He refused, and when he did, they took away his cap and gown. Tonight, Jones gave the speech he's been holding on to for a while.
I have learned what it means to exhibit leadership, acceptance, and perseverance. I am excited to say my senior year held my greatest memory, which was me reuniting with the football team.
Tangipahoa Superintendent Mark Colway wasn't available for comment. Instead, we were directed to this press release for more information. In it, Colway reiterates the school code policy, which states that beards will not be allowed. Back at the Amite High graduation, Jones and 3 other graduates were confronted about their facial hair. They were given the chance to shave, and out of all 4, Jones was the only one to refuse. However, at his ceremony, Jones received praise for his goatee. Even Grambling State President Willie Larkin drove nearly 5.5 hours to offer him a scholarship along with support.
You didn't do anything wrong. As a matter of fact, you did everything right. You will never be criticized at Grambling State University because of your facial hair.
And the moment Jones had been waiting for.
I present Andrew Jones with his high school diploma, and we congratulate you.
He received his high school diploma. For Northshore News, I'm Tyler Wagensback.
Besides his diploma, Jones also received a check for a free car from a New Orleans dealership. Jones is suing the Tangipahoa School Board since it did not allow him to participate in his high school's graduation.
Governor John Bell Edwards recently approved Ban the Box legislation in Louisiana. The law requires employers to remove the criminal history box on job applications in order to avoid discrimination against felons. With this new law, employers will not discuss former felony convictions until after an interview or a job offer has been made. As of now, Ban the Box does not apply to classified jobs such as blue-collar positions, but the Louisiana Civil Service Commission has indicated that it may make adjustments so that criminal history is removed from all state employment applications. According to the Alliance for a Just Society, Louisiana has 389 mandatory restrictions for those with felony convictions, while the national average is 123. 23 other states have also passed the Ban the Box law.
The St. Tammany Parish Council has approved an ordinance stating that public urination and defecation is a minor offense. The ordinance was proposed in May and approved in July in response to Mandeville Mayor Donald Villery being cited for obscenity for urinating on the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway Bridge. The new law defines public urination as the willful and intentional urination by a person in a public place, and a place not intended for such purposes, or in a place open to the public view. St. Tammany District Attorney Warren Montgomery says that he could not prosecute Villery because there was no law on the books at the time.
Earlier this summer, bullets cracked through the peaceful night air at the crowded Pulse nightclub in Orlando as a lone figure gunned down more than 100 customers at the club. Maria Goddard has this report.
What quickly became known as the worst mass shooting in American history claimed the lives of 50 people, including Omar Mateen, the shooter. According to the FBI, he claimed allegiance to ISIS.
I've just been scared. Mostly the whole thing is like just very terrifying because this is not our town, this is not our state, this is not how things are supposed to be here.
In the midst of all the confusion and chaos, it was becoming more clear around 2 a.m. that something was horribly wrong outside one of the most popular gay nightclubs in Orlando.
I was on my way to work to get paid when officers started shooting past me, and I just got off the exit and I looked over, but it didn't register.
As rain and tears hit Orange Avenue, friends and family members desperately called to find out if their loved ones, who are at Pulse about a half a block behind me, are still alive.
We have another friend who's in critical condition, and then as of right now, we are still unsure if Shane is alive or dead. We don't have anything on him yet.
Shane Evan Tomlinson, the gifted 33-year-old singer, had died as a result of the shooting.
It was just a state of shock, really. Pulse was always a safe haven for everyone. Everyone was always accepted there, no matter race, sexual orientation, how you looked, whatever.
The bullets escaped from a 6R MCX assault rifle and handgun Mateen used. Nearby hospitals quickly became a safe haven for the clubgoers, accepting them in by the dozens.
So just the number of patients that were coming into the hospital just kept rising and rising.
The numbers of people needing medical care were so high because the carnage ensued for over 3 long hours.
We can't be scared to live our lives. We have to show that we're stronger than that, and united will always be like that. Everyone is different, and it's beautiful. We should embrace it. Everyone needs to understand that love will always be more powerful than anything else.
Just days after the shooting, thousands of people joined together in a vigil to show just that love will always conquer. For Northshore News, I'm Maria Goddard.
While Orlando and the nation mourned the attack, people from more than 100 nations contributed over $4 million in 2 days to victims and their families.
A local college is expanding its outreach by building a satellite campus in Lacombe. Northshore Technical Community College is constructing a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics campus to meet the growing needs of industry. Reporter Tyler Wagensback traveled to Lacombe and has more on the progress.
As construction paves way for the new campus, administration is eager for what it will bring.
Really excited about what we're building here on the North Shore.
Chancellor Wainwright says the project has been a long-term goal and it wouldn't have been possible without the proper support.
The STEM campus originated from a legislative act. It was Act 360, and what this act provided for was the ability for the state to enter into a bond sale to support key investments in workforce training.
Key investments that in the long run will help students meet workforce demands. Wainwright says one goal is to increase student graduation rates by 2020.
Doubling the number of our graduates is very important because each of those graduates have a direct tie to giving back to the state of Louisiana through employment.
Even Vice Chancellor Tina Tinney believes that's important.
For us, it's increased capacity, and so it's another site where we can deliver comprehensive community college services and programs.
Before Hurricane Katrina, Northshore Tech had a campus in Slidell, but it flooded out. The new campus here instead will take its place. Wainwright hopes that this will all help further explore their options.
Our long-term vision is a multi-campus site that will serve as the flagship of Northshore Technical Community College. It will serve as our main campus and support additional campuses.
And Dr. Tinney tells us that it will be more convenient for students traveling in the region.
For students who are interested in engineering, for example, rather than having to travel to obtain a degree in engineering, they can start with us.
And overall, administration says this project will be worth it in the end.
This is going to make complete sense 10 to 15 years from now when our community really sees and benefits from a comprehensive community and technical college, adequate infrastructure in place to provide state-of-the-art training.
For Northshore News, I'm Tyler Wagensback.
The STEM campus is expected to be completed next spring.
Anthony Barton Fortune, owner of the Shiver Shack Snowballs in Mandeville, has been arrested for allegedly giving 4 underage female employees money and drugs in exchange for sexual favors. These acts allegedly occurred over a period of about 2 months at his apartment, which is connected to his snowball business. According to the jail bonds office, Fortune is being held at the Covington Parish Jail, which bonds totaling $338,000.
Last year, some Tangipahoa parents protested the early start of school on August 6th because of the extreme heat. Since then, Aaron Manguno reports that the school system listened to parents and pushed back the start of this year's school.
Last year, a survey was sent out by the Tangipahoa Parish School Board to change the school year's start date to September instead of August due to the heat.
We posted the whole survey on our webpage so that anybody could go, and we also sent notification to parents that the survey was up if they would like to participate in give their opinions about what was going on.
One parent got involved by starting a petition that gathered over 5,000 signatures.
Well, she was instrumental in getting a group of people to voice their concerns about the heat and just other issues in general. And basically she started a petition and it just kind of went from there.
Parent and teacher James Soul doesn't mind school starting in August and wants to keep it the way it is.
And nobody wants to end the school year in June. That's not something we want to do, especially here in Louisiana. August is still hot, but June is going to be way hotter.
It was democracy in action as the school board met several times over the past few months.
We were glad to have the participation because, you know, if parents don't speak out, then we're not able to help them with any concerns, whether it's a calendar or uniforms or whatever. They have to speak out, and we're really happy that they did.
For Northshore News, I'm Aaron Manguno.
Faculty and students will give up 2 days of their week-long Mardi Gras holiday in order to delay the first day of school, but also to finish on time.
On Sunday, July 24th, vandals broke into 25 vehicles of Louisiana National Guard soldiers during a military training exercise in Franklinton. The incident occurred at the new 205th National Guard Readiness Center on Taft Drive. The vandals also damaged some of the vehicles. Authorities are still looking for those responsible for the car break-in and the stolen items.
Credit and debit card hacking has become more common as thieves learn about constantly changing technology. And as Courtney Williams reports, your card information can be stolen even while you're filling up at the gas station.
The easiest and most convenient way to get gas is by using a debit or credit card. However, buying gas this way can come with a serious consequence. Skimmers stealing card information have become a problem in Louisiana. With over 800 card numbers stolen statewide, police officers say skimming devices are easy to obtain.
Someone will either create a skimming device or they will go and purchase one through the black market. And they will place that skimming device either on an ATM machine, which is mainly found to be external skimming devices, or they will access a gas pump and place one on the inside of that gas pump.
The Louisiana Department of Agriculture wants to make sure the problem doesn't get out of hand.
We're also working not only with the technicians that service all of the gas pumps, but also with the convenience store operators and the oil companies and everyone else so that we can all be aware, also with the sheriff's offices, what to look for.
When using your card at a gas station, make sure you don't notice anything out of the ordinary because most likely there's a skimmer ready to get your information. Skimmers are nearly invisible to detect, but there are ways to prevent your identity from being stolen.
We recommend that you use a pump that the cashier can see. Also be aware of where the cameras are. More than likely, if there's going to be a skimmer, it's going to be on the outside pumps. Use a credit card, okay? And also every month check your statement.
Using a credit card can be a safer option, but you also have to be mindful of criminals stealing your information. For Northshore News, I'm Courtney Williams.
Commissioner Strain says since launching the investigation, there has been a dramatic decrease in stolen credit card information and an increase in arrests. After the break, Governor Edwards speaks to Southeastern graduates.
And learn more about Southeastern's new Safe Campus app. Stay with us.
We detect some specific pattern of deformation of structures. We sort of predict when the whole structure will fail. The type of students I prefer to get involved in my research is that those who love science, love research, and those who enjoy research.
Well, the great thing about Southeastern is that we really get a lot more time, like one-on-one time with our professors, I would say. We get a chance to know them, and I think that just gives us like the advantage of making it easier to be able to do research.
The project is also helpful in the many kind of other real-life applications. That's the great opportunity that Southeastern provides to us.
If you go into the basic science, nothing is predictable. Sometimes ideas from undergrad students, those opinions help me a lot.
Welcome back to Northshore News. On May 14th, Governor John Bel Edwards provided the keynote address during Southeastern's spring commencement. He encouraged over 1,100 graduates to seize the opportunities that Louisiana has to offer. Edwards said that Southeastern has given graduates the knowledge and experience to succeed in the world. Governor Edwards is a native of Amite who represented Tangipahoa since 2008 as a member of the House of Representatives. Elected governor last fall, Edwards took office in January of this year.
Southeastern's Columbia Theater plans to introduce old and new features to celebrate the arts for this upcoming season. After finalizing this season's schedule, the theater plans to implement the Silver Screen and the new Artist Concert Series to showcase films and rising musicians. Roy Blackwood, executive director of the Columbia Theater, says that last season's project brought in young crowds and that he would like to expand those projects to increase that audience. In order to do that, the theater plans to bring back Pajamas and Play, where children can enjoy watching a play with cookies and milk. With recent budget cuts, the theater has concentrated on fundraising and marketing to fill those seats.
With one push of a button, Southeastern's Safe Campus app has kickstarted information on campus safety and how to prepare for emergencies. Created by computer science students, the app is free and available on any smartphone or device. Sam Damiano, the Vice President for Administration and Finance, recommends that students and staff also register for the Emergency Alert System.
Southeastern's Biological Science Graduate Program has been ranked third in the nation by SR Education Group, an education research publisher located in Washington. The 2016 ranking was based off of student reviews from graduate schools and programs across the nation. Of Louisiana institutions, Southeastern is the only one listed in the top 30 colleges and universities. The student surveys collected information on campus safety, career advising, quality of instruction, student diversity, and financial services. Southeastern's Biology Graduate Program ranked 4.36 out of 5. After the break, an Iowa choir pays homage to a World War II soldier remains on a flight home from Europe. Stay tuned to see the viral video.
Also ahead, one of America's biggest airlines experiences an internal computer glitch that changes thousands of passengers' plans. Stay with us.
The Southeastern channel offers a lot for sports fans.
Coaches shows, interviews with student athletes.
Football games, baseball games, basketball games.
I enjoy watching the coaches' insight programs after the online tracks because it does give our fans an insight of what happened during the game.
I enjoy watching the big game. You know, it gives me an opportunity to keep up with Southeastern athletics on a weekly basis. You know, not just football, baseball, basketball, but even the smaller sports, you know, like soccer and volleyball.
One of the things I've enjoyed most through the years watching is the production of the glory years.
It's a history, it's a documentation of where we've come from around here.
Solidified the reason why we brought Southeastern football back.
When the Southeastern channel replays games, it helps the students be able to catch up and see what's going on.
I like to watch the baseball games and the football games.
It's the only time I get to watch Southeastern football is I get to see it on television. I don't ever have time to go.
Even athletics can be an educational experience when you involve the Southeastern channel.
Welcome back to Northshore News. Residents of Saint-Étienne-du-Ouvray in Normandy, France continue to mourn the murder of Father Jacques Komal. 2 ISIS terrorists killed the 86-year-old priest in July during morning mass and then recorded themselves preaching in Arabic at the altar. Sister Danielle, one of the surviving nuns who witnessed the murder, was able to flee the scene after the attack.
Students of the Iowa Ambassador of Music Choir began to sing Battle Hymn of the Republic as an Army private escorted the soldiers' remains off the plane. Passenger Diane Cupp recorded the performance and posted the video. The students were headed home after their European singing tour.
Delta Airlines recently experienced a crash in its computer system that caused a large number of flight cancellations and delays. Thousands of Delta passengers were angered by what the airline is calling a power outage at its Atlanta hub. The outage began in the early morning hours of August 8, and limited flights did not resume until around 9 a.m. Passengers are entitled to a one-time only refund if their flight was delayed or canceled. Southwest Airlines recently experienced a technical error in its system that led to over 2,000 cancellations and 8,000 delays.
I Love Lucy fans are rejoicing over the newly sculpted Lucille Ball statue in the Lucille Ball Memorial Park in Celeron, New York. After protesting the removal of the original statue, otherwise known as Scary Lucy, the new statue was unveiled on what would have been Ball's 105th birthday. Locals claim that the statue made in 2009 did not accurately represent Ball and has been described as nightmarish. Lucille Ball has received many prestigious awards for her role as Lucy Ricardo in the beloved 50s show.
After the break, find out what smartphone app is keeping teenagers and young adults on their feet.
Also, 5 Southeastern Channel students have been awarded the Mark of Excellence. Stay with us. Welcome back to Northshore News. If you are familiar with the phrase "gotta catch 'em all," then you may have heard of Niantic's new Pokemon Go app. The app allows users to catch Pokemon outside of their house and battle others in training gyms. The game has received a lot of positive feedback since its release. Users claim that they are exercising more and building friendships with other Pokemon Go users. The app requires players to walk around in order to encounter and catch Pokemon. Some players have encouraged others to use the Charity Miles app that donates 25 cents for every mile walked to any charity of their choice.
The Society of Professional Journalists has presented 5 members of the Southeastern Channel with the 2015 Mark of Excellence Award at its New Orleans conference earlier this year. The award is presented to the best collegiate journalists at the universities in the Southeast region. Northshore News won second place for Best Overall Newscast. This is the 8th time in 9 years that Northshore News has been awarded first or second place. Former reporters Dominique Brogel, Brittany Robinson, and Sarah Barbier captured second place for their news and feature stories on Northshore News and Southeastern Times. Tyler Wagensback won second place in television sports photography, and Drew Sagona won second place in television and in-depth reporting on his documentary about the Natchez Powwow. That'll do it for this edition of Northshore News. Remember, you can watch on-demand video or send us your stories at our U-Report link or visit northshorenews.tv. I'm Nancy Peck.
And I'm Jordan Reid. Thanks for watching.